thing. She went to Aman and holding out the pencil said, "Aman, is this your pencil?" Aman's eyes lit up with joy. He said, "Yes. Thank you so much, Ria." Ria smiled too. She felt a warm glow of pride and happiness inside because she knew she had done the right thing. Moral: truthfulness and honesty are the greatest treasures. Climbed onto the leaf. With all her strength, Annie pushed the leaf toward the shore. After some time, the butterfly reached dry land safely. The butterfly rested her wings and smiled. "Thank you, little ant," she said. "I will never forget your kindness." A few days later, Annie was carrying food back to her home when a hungry bird suddenly flew down. Annie was frightened and could not move. Just then, the butterfly appeared and flew around the bird's eyes. The bird became confused and flew away. Annie looked up at the butterfly and smiled. She understood that kindness always comes back. She learned that even the smallest creature can do great things by being brave and kind. Moral: kindness and courage matter more than strength. Once upon a time, near a river in grass, lived a tiny ant named Annie. Annie was very small, but she was known for her kind heart and hardworking nature. Every day, she carried food crumbs that were bigger than her own body. One bright morning, as Annie walked along the riverbank, she heard a weak voice crying, "Help! Please help me." Annie looked around and saw a beautiful butterfly trapped in the water. Her colorful wings were wet, and she could not fly. The water was moving fast, and the butterfly was very scared. Even though Annie was tiny, she did not lose hope. She quickly found a dry leaf, pushed it into the water, and shouted, "Climb onto the leaf. I will help you." The butterfly slowly climbed onto the leaf. With all her strength, Annie pushed the leaf toward the shore. After some time, the butterfly reached dry land safely. The butterfly rested her wings and smiled. "Thank you, little ant," she said. "I will never forget your kindness." A few days later, Annie was carrying food back to her home when a hungry bird suddenly flew down. Annie was frightened and could not move. Just then, the butterfly appeared and flew around the bird's eyes. The bird became confused and flew away. Annie looked up at the butterfly and smiled. She understood that kindness always comes back. She learned that even the smallest creature can do great things by being brave and kind. Moral: kindness and courage matter more than strength. One sunny and windy afternoon, a little boy named Arush went to the park to fly his new kite. The kite was red, blue, and yellow, and it danced in the sky. When Arush pulled the string, he heard a little voice. "Hey, please don't pull so hard." Arush looked up. "Who said that?" "It's me, your kite," said the kite softly. "If you pull too hard, I might tear." Arush laughed. "Wow, a talking kite." The kite swayed gently and said, "I fly best when you are gentle. Being rough doesn't help." So Arush loosened the string a little, and the kite flew even higher. "Wow," said Arush. "You are flying so well now." The kite smiled. Just like flying a kite, life is better with patience. Suddenly, a strong wind blew the kite toward a tree, but Arush stayed calm. He moved the string slowly and guided the kite safely away. By evening, the kite came down safely. "Thank you for listening," said the kite. "You learned something special today." Arush smiled. "Yes, being gentle and patient makes everything better." The next day, Arush taught his friends how to fly kites calmly too. And high in the sky, the talking kite smiled quietly. Moral for kids: be gentle and patient, with your toys, with others, and with yourself. Good things come with a calm heart. Tina loved to paint. Masterpiece. One sunny morning, she decided to make a beautiful rainbow. She dipped her brush in red, then yellow, then blue. But something didn't seem right. The colors smudged, and the rainbow looked messy. "Oh no, I can't do this," Tina said in disappointment and put the brush down. Her grandmother, who was watching, smiled and said, "Tina, even the best artists don't get it perfect the first time. Practice makes your art shine." Tina frowned, but she decided to try again. She painted and painted. Some days looked messy, some days better, but she never gave up. Finally, after many attempts, Tina painted a rainbow that was bright, colorful, and just as she had imagined. She stepped back and smiled proudly. "See," said Grandma. Trying again and again, even when it's hard, makes you stronger and better. From that day on, Tina knew that mistakes were just a part of learning, and determination could turn any failure into something wonderful. Moral: practice and determination are the keys to success. Mistakes are not meant to stop you but to teach you.
Monty the monkey woke up, stretched, yawned, and suddenly screamed. My tail, where's my tail? He spun in circles, checking behind him. No tail. He ran to Parrot. Have you seen my tail? Parrot shrugged. Did you check your bed? Monty raced back home. Nothing. He checked the banana tree. No tail, but he ate 3 bananas anyway. He checked the river. No tail, but his reflection looked handsome. Finally, he sat on a rock and sighed. Suddenly something tapped his shoulder. Tap, tap, tap. Monty turned and screamed again. His tail had wrapped around the branch above, dangling like a snake. I was attached the whole time, he shouted. His tail flicked him on the head. Parrot laughed so hard he fell off the tree. Monty marched home muttering, From now on, I'm putting a bell on you.
Nina loved music more than anything. She hummed while eating, tapped rhythms on her desk, instruments she saw in books. One sunny afternoon, she visited the school music room. There in the center stood a grand piano. He was shiny black and taller than Nina herself. Her eyes sparkled with wonder. But then she looked at her small hands and sighed. I'm too small to play that, she whispered to herself. My feet don't even touch the floor from the bench. Her music teacher, Ms. Rosie, noticed Nina's hesitation. She knelt down and said gently, Nina, the size of the pianist doesn't matter. It's the size of the heart that plays the music. Would you like to try? With a deep breath, Nina climbed onto the bench, with a little help from a cushion. At first, her fingers found only a few keys. The notes were soft, unsure. But they were her notes. She practiced every day. Sometimes the sounds were jumbled. Sometimes they flowed. But she never gave up. One Friday, Ms. Rosie asked if she'd like to play for her classmates. Nina's heart raced, but she nodded. As she played her little melody, something magical happened. Her friends began to smile, then sway, then clap along. When she finished, the room burst into happy cheers. Nina beamed. She had learned something wonderful. You don't need to be big to make something beautiful. You just need to begin. Benji loved flying kites. One sunny afternoon, he ran to the field with his favorite kite, excited to play alone. Suddenly, he heard a soft, sniffly sound. It was his friend Leo. My kite is broken, Leo said sadly. Benji almost said, Sorry, I'm busy playing. But something inside whispered, Maybe I can help. He walked over and saw the broken kite. The frame was bent and the tail was torn. Benji rolled up his sleeves. Let's fix it together, he said. They worked carefully, tying the tail and straightening the frame. Slowly, the kite looked whole again. Finally, they ran across the field and let the kite go. It soared high, dancing with the wind. Leo laughed with joy and Benji smiled too. Benji realized that helping someone felt even better than playing alone. From that day on, he found happiness in sharing, because kindness filled his heart with joy. Moral of the story: kindness and sharing bring more happiness than playing alone. Helping others fills your heart with true joy. In a bright green valley lived a curious little goat named Benji. He loved to explore, and his biggest dream was to climb the tall mountain that touched the clouds. One sunny morning, Benji decided, Today's the day. I'm going to climb that mountain. He ran toward it and started climbing, but the rocks were slippery and he slid right back down. He tried again and slipped again. Oh no, said Benji sadly. This mountain is too hard to climb. Just then, his mother walked over and nuzzled him gently. Don't give up, Benji, she said. Big challenges need big thinking. Look for a different path. So Benji took a deep breath and looked at the mountain again. This time he noticed small steps in the rocks, strong roots to hold onto, and flat ledges where he could rest. I see, he said, and he started to climb slowly and carefully. step by step by step. When he slipped, he didn't quit. He just stood up and kept going. After a long, brave climb, Benji finally reached the top of the mountain. He looked down and saw the whole valley spread out below like a green carpet. The clouds floated so close he felt he could hug them. "I did it," he bleated happily. His heart felt big and proud. Benji learned that even the biggest, tallest challenges can be conquered if you are patient, clever, and never ever give up. Leo loved playing by the river, but there was one problem. He was scared of water. Even the smallest splash made him nervous. One sunny day, Leo's friend Mia said, "Come on, Leo. I'll teach you to swim." Leo hesitated. "But I'm scared," he whispered. Mia smiled. "It's okay to be scared. We can try bit by bit. Small steps lead to big success." Leo nodded and stepped into the shallow water. At first, he just dipped his toes. Then he waded a little deeper, holding onto Mia. Slowly, he learned to float, kick, and paddle. Days passed, and Leo practiced a little every day. Sometimes he slipped, sometimes he got water in his nose, but he never gave up. Finally, the day came when Leo swam across the river without any help. He felt proud, happy, and brave. He realized that trying bit by bit, even when scared, could lead to success. From that day on, Leo loved swimming and wasn't afraid of water anymore. Moral of the story: big successes begin with small, brave steps. It's okay to be scared, but don't let fear stop you from trying. Twinkle's lonely light. High, high up in the dark night sky, there was a little star named Twinkle. Twinkle was very bright and sparkly, but she felt all alone. The other stars were so far away they looked like tiny dots. Every night, Twinkle would flicker and shine by herself. She whispered, "I wish I had a friend to sparkle with." One evening, a soft, puffy cloud drifted past her. "Hello, little star," said the cloud. "Why do you shine by yourself? You look sad." "I am lonely," sighed Twinkle. "My light is just for me." The fluffy cloud had an idea. "Why don't you try sharing your light? Send it down to the world below." "Share it?" asked Twinkle. She wasn't sure. "Yes," said the cloud. "Give it a try." So Twinkle took a deep breath and let her light shine extra bright. She sent her sparkles beaming down to a little village on Earth. Down below, a little girl named Mia was looking at her window. She saw Twinkle's special gleam.